Oh, hey, how long have you been there? This is stream number 55. I have a GUI now for the tool that I'm working on, and I'm finding issues that I didn't know were there, like the fact that we're extracting a bunch of nils from vector context parsing that we don't need. And they're missing features, like probably what I'm hoping to spend on most this morning stream on is when I click on one of these, I want it to highlight an area over here that corresponds to that. So, but first, I kind of want to investigate why in vector context we're extracting value all the time. Oh, and these debugs, we should remove those. DBG. We don't need these anymore. Okay, no more DBGs. Didn't break anything. Oh, I haven't run the unit test in a while. Although I shouldn't have changed anything in the libraries to warrant breaking the unit test, but it's never hurts to run the unit test, right? Pass them all in 0.607 seconds. Oh, Rust Analyzer has a new version. Let us reload. Okay, while it reloads and things, let's go into the ingestion library and see why we might be. I think it's called extract value. Data component extract value, right? Yeah, because that's where that value gets set. So let's look at that call hierarchy. And here's where we might have to wait for Rust Analyzer to finish loading. All right, it finished loading while I was sort of glancing off into space. Okay. Oh, we just do it. We do it unconditionally? Huh. What are we doing with this return value?
Yeah.
Extracted vector. Why did I end up doing this? Why did I think that this was a good idea? And isn't this being done twice? Because doesn't this actually, when it gets this value, doesn't it set it on itself? No, 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 no. This is getting a value for each iteration. It's this collect that's really forming the vector, right? This right here. I don't think I need to do this. What if I just comment out the finalized component? What, does this break anything? It does. Okay, let's see what it breaks. Test change vector component by look ahead and by parse. Okay. How is this test relying on vector context? Wait, what? I guess this is expecting, yeah, that it's expecting an error and saying that this is an error because it would override or collide with this. So what's it actually doing now? Collision on X. 308. Oh. Okay, yeah. So it should just be nil. Okay, and then the other one is by parse. It's the same thing. It should just be an error and it should have no value, just nil. I don't know why I thought that this was a good idea. Okay, so all our tests pass again, hopefully. Nope, some more. Test vector indexing component vector. These two are failing. Oh, yeah, so this should just be nil. But we should be able to get to x1 just fine. Yeah, run that test. Cool. Yeah, I don't think that we should have a value for vector components overall. If we want that, we would just make a vector component inside a part and then do a return statement on it. Okay, nested. It's probably the same thing, right? This overall thing, this should be just nil. Okay, and also the individual values of these should also be nil. Nil. Okay, I guess I missed a spot here. Oh yeah, this one should be nil also. Do we have evil crows on the lawn that the dog has to go get? Yeah, go get him, dog. It charges those crows. Of course, she gives away her position before she even leaves the house. Cool. All right. So now if I run this, we won't have that huge bunch of nils. That doesn't make sense. Then I gotta decide what to do with the original code because maybe it has some value. Okay. Oh, and this look ahead, we can probably get rid of that. I had special syntax for this now, right? Look ahead, right? Look ahead. So for data, it should definitely, since it's a look, it's in the data, it shouldn't show up at all. So it's when we pass it as an argument, it's being seen. What was the grammar for that? Format, right? Op arguments. Somehow I right clicked and I closed the I forgot what that's called. Um, I closed whatever that thing is. Now, how do I get it back? Minimap. There we go. Okay, yeah, I accidentally closed the minimap. Okay. That was scary. Op arguments. Op arguments. Where art thou? Okay. Arguments. Okay, you can have a minus in front. Okay. So a minus in front means we don't count it as part of the production. So all of these I want to discount. Okay, see what that does. Nice. So we don't see anything that's not actually parsed from the file now. Okay, and then there was one bug in here, right? It was for a graphic control block, graphic rendering block, table-based image. Between the descriptor and the data, there's supposed, because of this local color table being size being 2, there should be a local color table, and it's not appearing because the bounded region stuff is broken. So I wanted to fix that. Let's do it with test-driven development, TDD. Ugh. I forgot to get my jacket on, and it's kind of cold in here. It's only 65 freedom degrees. I should have a test for bounded region. Let me look. Ingestion? Actually, what's this warning of? Oh, warning. The warning is about that finalized components isn't used. I'm gonna leave that in there for now. Because I wanted to like review like if this is useful potentially for future things. Like maybe a special syntax would do this. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. It's potentially useful. Okay, anyway, tests. Bounds, right? One bound. Okay, exactly. So in here, X should show up. Actually, it does show up in keyed children. So, and these tests aren't failing. Then I'm kind of confused. Whoops. Okay. How come, like, that button doesn't show? If I switch to terminal, that button's gone. If I go to debug console, it comes back. Why is that? Where's my X button? Oh, it's over there. Why is it over there? I think that's the right alignment. Although without chat, I don't know if I'm overdrawing chat or not. We can get rid of that format thing now. Oh, and the row selected. Don't need that. That's a debug. And debug. Okay. Shorten this so I can see the output there. Definitely missing. So why is that? Table-based image. So here we have table-based image. So it's the case where if it's in a condition. That should definitely work. So let me try to make a test where we have a condition and then inside the condition there's a bound. Okay. I don't want part. I don't know why that's open. Okay, one bounds, several bounds. Okay, let's just copy this test. This should be bound inside conditional. Should be added to composite. Hey there, puppy. Hey there, Hazel. Come here. Come here, Hazel. Come here. Isn't this such a cute doggy? You're such a cute doggy. Good. Oh, wet paws. All right. Hey, Nightshade dude. See, I knew that would unlurk you. Where's the kitty? Lurking somewhere. She gave me a real good puncture wound last night. Right there. She got me with her fang. She was playing and she bit a little too hard. All right, so we'll just manufacture this. So we'll say like if true, then parse a bit. Keep it simple. Keep it X, keep it to 1. And we should parse a bit. So 1 bit should be the offset. No error. We should be able to get an X. X should not be an error, and the value of X should be 0. Offset 0, limit 1. Actually, let's take advantage of the bound and just do that. And then delete all this stuff. So this is what we're thinking is going to fail, right? It pass. What the heck? What am I doing differently in here? Well, I don't know. Let me run, hold on. Let's run the command line version of this. And we'll scroll down to table-based image. I probably deserved it. Yeah, you're probably right. I deserved it. Cats are always right. I forgot about that. Hey, the TV Schneider. It's just taking a long time to build right now. Why is that? Okay, so table-based. Oh. Did it skip? I think it skipped the local color table. Am I not understanding my own code? It went from the descriptor straight on to the image data. Even though the local color size, local color table size is 2. Hold on. What am I? This is 2. If it's not, oh, there's a flag and a table size? Oh, I'm stupid. It's 0. Okay, so there is no local color table flag, so it's not really a bug at all. Well, I mean, a test doesn't hurt. Yeah, I was reading this wrong. Image descriptor. So looks like we always have a color table size even if this bit is off. I wonder why. Local color table. Image descriptor. Presence of a local color table immediately following the descriptor. This field is most significant bit. Not present. Use global color table. So then these bits are there, but I guess they're ignored. So I should probably, if it says it here, then I think we'll just do it and ignore. If the local color table flag is set to 1, the value of this field is used to calculate the number of bytes. Okay. So then really it should be an if. Otherwise we're skipping it, right? So probably a better way to say this is if local color table flag, then its size, else color table size. What is that? It's 3 bits, but I want to see it. Yeah, it's 3. Okay. Otherwise, ignore 3. Okay. So hopefully this will make it look nicer. The data block, graphic control block, rendering block, table-based image descriptor. Local color table flag is 0. So we have no local color table flag size. Okay, nice. Okay, cool. Better. I'm happy now. Okay. Oh, there was another bug I noticed before I started the stream. If I go clear the formats, it doesn't clear out the interpretation, the data tree. And after now I load again, stage, GIF, we get an extra header and the signature is garbage. I think there are two things going on here. I think I know how to replicate the problem. So if we clear and then we run again, it doesn't have any interpretation because it doesn't have any formats set. So if I load, I think it's not going to load correctly. Yeah, see how it's all garbage, but if I run it again, it's not. I think it's because we don't reset the bitstreams offset when we do ingest. We just like use its current position. So believe that's a bug that we can replicate in a unit test. So close everything. Ingestion, source, tests, part, I guess. Sure, why not? Let's just make a new test. So this test is parse should, well, ingest should set bitstream offset. So the idea is we get this bitstream, and if we were to like, let's just have this be simple. So X and make it 8-bit, right? And return X. So, and if I like were to put 2 bytes in here, 1, 2, and 3, 4, but before calling ingest, if we were to say, hey, bits, borrow, and then set the offset to 8. And then ingest, it should rewind it back to the first byte, and it should stay at offset 8, and this should be 12. But I think what will happen is we'll fail on this point because it will say 16, not 8. It's not an error. No, it shouldn't be an error. Unknown format X. Because I had these reversed. That's my bug. Try again. Hey there, A squared. Vohio to you as well. Yeah, see, that's the bug. Because we tell it in this origin here that the offset is, oh, wait a second. That's not a bug then. It's whatever offset it's at. Oh. Okay, so never mind. So really, my premise is wrong. Ingest should not set. So it should be 16 and get 34 instead of 12 because we set the offset to 8. So the bug is really in the code that does the in the GUI. So that's app. So when we where is it? Call hierarchy, handle this. Yeah, the maybe parse, right? So the maybe parse right before it actually parses. Right here, it should rewind the bitstream. So I guess we could do it here. Bitstream dot borrow mute set offset to 0. There. I did it. I fixed it. Perhaps the name should be something like should copy offset because it's set. It's just not reset. I was thinking more that it shouldn't call set offset on the bitstream. But I see what you're saying. Like the wording is a little weird. And just should not. Well, it does. It's more than copy. It's that it shouldn't change it. That's what it should. Or ingest should not like rewind it. Would be a better term, right? Not modify, not rewind. I mean, it does move it forward to 16. It just shouldn't go back to 0 first, right? It should stay where it is, which is where I set it at 8. It should pick up from there. It shouldn't go back. But technically, like I could put it at I could have put it at -10 or something, and then it shouldn't go forward either. It shouldn't go to 0. It's all good. So to test this, I would clear the formats and then load them again. And then also I could clear and then load them again, well, without quitting. So it doesn't remove the old parsing. I think we have to do that. So that should be a one-liner also, right? It should be in the set data, it should have cleared all the rows. So we didn't do that, right? That self data tree. Self data tree dot clear. Okay, we don't have a clear. I think we need one. Clear is easy, right? Self dot. Actually, clear could mean to remove the columns too. I really wanted to just remove the rows. And I guess put, well, it doesn't, last canvas site height is always recomputed, right? We can reset the next row token. Root should be cleared. Rows should be cleared. Selected row should be reset as well. Okay, let's rename this to delete all rows, remove all rows. So removes all rows. That's one type, isn't it? One long type. The format's clear. Actually, on clear, we should probably remove this, right? Oh, actually, I guess not. We can remove the formats. We've already parsed it, so I guess technically we don't need to load it again. Okay, so it still works. And now what happens if I like set it to trailer? Yeah, see, now it reparses it like, but it'll be all wonky, right? Oh, and that reminds me, we're not showing if there's an error. What I want to do is highlight it and like color it red if there's an error. It's nicer UI to clear the rows on clear so the user knows something happened. Yeah, okay, you've convinced me. Oh, how did I get the balloons? Is that with this? I forget. That's thumbs up, right? Now it's not doing it. I know this is to get that. How did I get the balloons? I forgot. What do you do to get the balloons? I don't know. Where's the icon for that? I don't even see it. Oh, I see. There are two. I have, right. Okay. How do I get the balloons? I can press it to get it manually like that. Can make it rain. Yeah, I don't know what it's looking for that. Okay, anyway, distracted by balloons. Handle message, right? Right, so clear formats should do self dot info overlay dot I guess we'll just do a set date. Well, it still has data. I guess it has to be explicit. Clear data. We'll clear, I don't know. No, it doesn't have data. So it's clear. I need to do a set data none. Yes, okay. Red balloons really distract you? Why only red balloons? Okay, so if I do clear, it's cleared. Okay, why is it still showing this list then? Shouldn't this list be gone? Okay. Confused. It is gone. Clear. Why are we still seeing the list here? It does the parser format's clear. It should clear the parser. Oh, with the info overlay, we didn't tell it set formats to, I guess, hash map empty, hash set empty. That set data none did an early exit and didn't do anything? No, it doesn't do an early exit. Clear. Load again. Cool. Yeah, it does a remove all rows first. We added that not too long ago. Then it does an early return because it's like, okay, well, I don't have anything to do. Otherwise, we're gonna populate. Okay. I wanted to show errors. So that's something special in here, right? But maybe before I do that, I try to refactor out the fact that we're doing redundant information. This is all redundant here. The only difference I think is that this is none here and it's some token there. Oh, and we also do this enumerate, but I could have done that up here anyway. So I think what I want to do is at this point, call a set child data and make the token optional. And then this is sum. This is just token. Sum token. Token. And yeah, so then this is just self.set child data. Looks good to me. This is none. Delete all this. Cool. Couldn't do that last night because I was super tired. Yeah, I'm gonna go need to get my jacket because it's still only 65 freedom degrees in here. So yeah, that worked. Let's try to work on the offset thing. Because that'd be super cool. But I need to go get my jacket, so I'll be right back. Hello, kitty. Kitty, kitty. The cat's right outside the office, trying to be cute. Okay, so the idea is the right to left would be a lot easier. So let's do that first. So the idea is clicking on one of these, we use its offset and limit to highlight an area in the left. So that means I actually need an API to do that. And then I need to respond to selection. We already respond to selection, right? No, we do not. Info overlay. Let's add content, right? Yeah, so it's using the responsive drawing. So I'm not doing that with the tree, right? Oh, here it is. So we are doing something. So this has to bubble up. We've got to do one of these. Select data tree row token. So the row token doesn't mean anything to the client. So I think what the info overlay needs to do is it needs to retain the data somehow. So it's not select data tree row, it's select data tree component, right? Select data component. Okay, so first things first, this has to be added. Am I ever going to set none on this? Maybe. So RC ref cell. Oh, don't I have a type name for this? Ingestion. It would be in the lib actually. Shared data component. Yes, that's what I should be using. In fact, I should probably search for RC ref cell ingestion. Yes, so all of these should say like ingestion shared data component. So can I just copy this and do a search replace? Search. Replace. Shared data component. No frills. Replace. There we go. It is done. It is done. So yeah, this is just still an option. Ingestion shared data component. Okay. What's wrong with that? Doesn't implement debug. We should do that, right? We should implement debug. What will we print on debug? Hey, Brooke Zerker. Thanks for the raid. I hope you had a great stream. Everything should implement debug. Yes, so my component doesn't implement debug. You guys want to see how far I've gotten? Hey there, coffee drinker. Yeah, so now we have two GUI widgets. There's a hex editor, which you can select bytes in. You can scroll around, and also we have the data tree. So I can now scroll down and show you that this is a GIF file, right? There's the header and signature inversion. Resize that a little bit. So what I'm working on right now is clicking on something in the data tree should show you which bytes it is. But yeah, it's gotten a lot further. I only had, for the longest time, maybe like 20 streams, I could only show this on the command line. Now I have a GUI. If you could throw a drive on it, you should. And if you can't, you should make it so you can. I think the problem I had was it has something, it's got like a deep, well, okay, good point. I should test that theory. Yeah. Yeah, I think this GUI worked out pretty well. So there is that Netscape secret string in here. If I scroll around, you can see it. There it is. That super application authentication code is actually 2.0. So I bet we should just interpret it as a string and be done with it, right? Yeah. Anyway, hope you guys are impressed, properly impressed. Please let me know if you have any questions. It's getting to the point where now what I'm doing is kind of self-explanatory. So the whole point is to make a programmable decoder. So given these bytes, we could figure out what it means because I have a format description. So in the tool, you load it in with this load, and then you select like how you want to parse the data. And you just say parse that as a GIF, and you get, oh, hey, look, that's what it is. The authentication code doesn't always have to be a string. Yeah, but ever since 1990 or whatever, it's been a string, right? Like I I'm guessing that every single GIF has a Netscape 2.0 in it. And that there isn't, you can't find one that doesn't have this. It's some kind of like almost baked in thing now that all GIF writers do this. They probably just have this hard coded, this whole special purpose block hard coded in there, right? Yeah, so right now, what I was working on is that when you click on a data component in the tree, that we send the app a message, and the app can then take that data component and see what bytes does it come from, and then highlight that in the hex editor. The Netscape one is a string, but I don't know if anything else used. Well, now we got to settle it. Let's look at the spec. It's authentication code, right? Sequence of 3 bytes used to authenticate the application identifier. The application program may use an algorithm to compute a binary code that uniquely identifies it as the application owning the application extension. So I guess Netscape guys just got lazy and they're like, whatever, just make it 2.0. So we could have in our format thing, how about we do this? We say if it's Netscape, then it's a string. Where is it again? Special purpose block application extension. Yeah. So here it is. So what if we say like if the identifier is Netscape one way, otherwise do it this way. And now it's a string. Look at that. So now when I run the code, go into special purpose block, application extension. Look, it's 2.0 now. I did a thing. Now if it's Netscape, it's a string. Non-looping GIFs might not have a Netscape extension block since that block always identifies a number of loops. This blocks, it does it? Oh, in the stuff that we're not parsing yet, in the sub blocks, right? There's a 3-byte sub block that we're not parsing. And I'm not parsing that because the spec didn't say what it was, right? Yeah, they just say that there's application data. They don't say what the application data means. Application data. Yeah, so it never defines what it means. It's up to the application, right? You know what's weird? No, I take it back. I was gonna say what's weird is that the fixed value means that the block is a fixed size, but it's not. It's not including the beginning of the application data. So you can have any number of bytes. You just have to have a block terminator. So yeah, it depends on the application, right? So I guess the Netscape application, you're saying those 3 bytes are interpreted as the number of loops. Where's the spec from? It's from It is from CompuServe Incorporated, Columbus, Ohio. I just searched for it online and found it. But this is, yeah, I remember this being like the original, like 1989 version of the format. So there you go. A squared. For more information, contact CompuServe Incorporated at Graphics Technology Department, 5000 Arlington Center Boulevard in Columbus, Ohio, 43220, USA. You could also go on to, what is it? That's for licensing. Didn't they talk about like Maybe it's at the bottom. It's like funny historical information, right? Where do they talk about this? Compression, conventions, glossary, grammar. Yeah, I don't remember where this was. Was it like a forum? Yeah. If you want to make your own application extension, all you need to do is go to the courtesy directory file located on CompuServe in the Pix forum. And you can also send email to Larry Wood, the forum manager of Pix. Yeah, I wonder when this shut down. Probably in like 1998 or something. Ancient format. Funny. But yeah, back to work. So I have to be able to set the component. There's another error. Probably when we receive it. Oh yeah, the debug trait. You have to do the debug trait. That's important. So we're going to do what A squared recommended and say, hey, we should be able to derive the debug trait. And why can't we? Because bitstream subset can't. Why can't it? Because the handle can't derive it. So this is a problem, right? That there's a dynamic object in there. You don't like that they don't give you an address either, so you need to hunt for it. Maybe send Larry a LinkedIn message now. Is he still around? I wonder if like he's like he feels like a hunted man. Like people are just constantly sending him emails as a joke, saying, "Hey, I'd like to get that document because I want to add an application extension to GIF, please. Can't make that ever derive debug." Yeah, so that probably means that we cannot derive debug here. We have to do our own thing, right? You know what would be cool is if you could say to derive debug, hey, ignore this field. Yeah, can we? It would be cool if we had like an like debug exclude something like that, and then this derive would see that and skip this. There's some crates that provide proc macros that can do that. I'd imagine, because I right just now coming off the top of my head, I'm thinking like that would be really convenient, because if it weren't for that, it should be debuggable, right? Okay, what's the rule I'm trying to follow? It's after the custom implementation, then we do our thing. Standard format. Missing members. Well, that's cool. Look, it kind of did it for me. I just need to get rid of that, and I'm done. Consider calling finish non-exhaustive. You tend to ignore fields. Finish non-exhaustive. Look at that. So cool. All right, down to 2 errors. Missing match arm. Yes, we need that to handle when we want to handle it. That will be to do for now, because that's where the extracting the offset and then setting it on the hex editor will do that part. I want to do this part first, though. Yeah, how do we get the data from the row token? I think we need to either the data tree has it, right? Actually, what does the data tree have? The data tree can't have it because it's just a view, right? It has the rows, but a row is just a bunch of values and then all these other things, right? So it's the info overlay that needs to retain like a parallel hash map, right? I think that's true. So let's do it. Data. Ingestion shared data component. Collections, and this is a data tree. Row token. Technically not non-exhaustive, but it makes sense here to say there's some data missing. Yeah, the actual bit stream. Yep. Okay. So this is going to be an empty hash map. Okay. We can just do it here. So it will be if let some data equals self data get row token, then send the application a message. Repackaging it in some. What's wrong with that? Oh, we have to clone it. It wants its own reference. All right. Man, the cat puncturing my palm really hurts now when I use the keyboard. I deserved it though. Okay, so where we add these rows, actually, and on here, we want to clear this. Yeah, where we get a token, basically. Everywhere we get a token, we want to associate the token with the child. So, whoops. Oh, well, I have set child data. Doesn't that do it? Yeah, shouldn't I do like... Yeah, I should just do it here. If let some token equal token, self.data.insert token data.clone. Easy. Okay, and then back in the app. Gotta do something with that data, right? Let's just make sure it gets this far. So we'll do a print line. And we'll make use of that nifty new debug trait. So we'll say you selected data debug. Cat scratch fever is a real thing. If it gets worse, you should see a doc. It's not going to get worse. Don't worry about it. Make sure to wash it, etc., etc. Yeah, I'll probably put some Neosporin on it. All right. Make this not so tall. Oh, there's a lot of junk just for the trailer. Look at that. Oh, because it's printed twice. It's printing it twice, but here's the nice I guess I didn't need to print it because we're seeing it as a selected data component. So some ref cell with the value component error false, some trailer, key children, there's a label in there. Oh, so if I clicked on data, it'd probably be friggin' huge, right? Should just do it just for fun. Whoa, lots of data. Get the fancy formatting? What does that look like? Do, 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 do. Oh, look at that. Fancy. That sure is fancy. Hey, here's what we're looking for, right? The offset and the limit. So that's what I need to pull out. Well, actually, it's this one, because this one belongs to the UI and the label inside of the trailer. It's gonna be the same thing, right? Because the overall is the same as the component. If the component is all of the overall. Fancy. Okay, so I'm gonna want to say like if let some origin equal data dot borrow. Why does it say mute? I don't need mute. Borrow dot. Oh, as ref. That's probably why, right? I want an as ref. Actually, we get our own copy. Why am I doing an as ref? Should I just do as dref? No. Like if I wanted to just pull it, take it out, well, it might be shared. Yeah, why can't I just call borrow on it? Tell me, compiler, there is no borrow on an enum. Method is available for that. Consider expect to unwrap it. Okay, but why couldn't I do it here? I don't want to panic if it's none. Oh, I'm thinking about this the wrong way. I need to see if that's something, then we borrow it. Right. Okay, so um, that's if it's some data, right? Because if it's not, then um, then we actually want to then it's telling us that we should unselect. So it should be like self dot info overlay dot actually it's just, let's just make it abstract. Select, wait. Oh, that's setting the bitstream. I want to select a region. Select bitstream region. None. And then this. Actually, can't I just do a functional? So, well, first let's do the non-functional because that's easier for me. If let some origin. I need to extend the borrow. So let data, let origin, let data. Sorry, data borrow. Okay, if some origin equals data dot origin. Bitstream subset, right? And we could move. Actually, we shouldn't be able to move out of it. I'll clean up these else's in a bit. So the region is I guess we'll make it a tuple. Origin dot offset, origin dot limit. Make it a tuple because I'm lazy. Okay, so if let's just make that work first. I didn't mean to call that select. I think that should be set. Getting my terms confused. So region, option, usize, usize. To do. I want to rename this one. So this should be set bitstream. And this one should also be set bitstream, not select, because select means something more specific or something different. What does data look like in fancy formatting? It probably is a billion lines. That's why I didn't do it. If let a match extends borrows in their scrutiny until you, oh, you think that it would just work? I didn't want to run into that while I was writing that. But you're probably right. So you're saying I can just put that here. I just can't do this anymore. Okay, yeah, you're right. So to do this a little more functionally, let's do it from the inside out. This would be, I shouldn't need the if let sum. I should be able to say this as ref map to origin and move this out. And I don't need the sum. And I don't need this else. Okay, and then again, I can move this out. See, this is what happens when, like, for 20 years you do things with, like, in C and C++ where you have to do an if else, and then now you have to try to wrap your brain around how to do this with functional style, where you do map and unwrap and or else and then, and like it's taken me longer to like get it down, but maybe just having more practice will help. So it's that we move the inner to the outer, and then we remove the if let and replace it with a map or an and then, I guess. Wouldn't it be data and then data borrow origin as ref and then map? Can't return. Okay, so here's the problem that we were just talking about, right? That the borrow extension doesn't work here. I guess I have to do this differently, right? I have to do a map, and then inside here do a origin itself is optional, so it would be, would it be and then? Or I have to do a map and then a flatten, right? Flat map? Is that what it's going to tell me to do? map with and then remove. That's what I had, but it isn't that what I had? Then I have the borrow problem, right? No, I just did it wrong before. So the quick fix fixed it for me. So it's data and then borrow it, get to the origin and map the origin. And that's because and then like does sort of like an implicit unwrap. So the inner thing generates a new option. So I don't need to flatten it anymore. So if data is none, we get none. But if data is something, then it unwraps that something and gives it to me directly. And then I can return an option, and then that option automatically is flattened with the original option of data. It's that, like, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that. Map has to be inside the and then. That's what it ended up doing. Yeah, you had it outside. So yeah, you can see how like I struggle with this. It's not intuitive for me. Okay, so we have to actually do something with it. So I think what I want to do is I want to add a highlight, and highlight gives me a token, right? When we add a highlight, we get a highlight token. So we need to keep around a highlight token to remember what we have highlighted. Here. So we have a selected range. So we're gonna have now, actually, I'm just using that selected range then, aren't I? So right now I was using it to, in response to clicking and dragging. It would be nice to have two different highlights. Well, what if I just co-opt it? Is that the right term? Just like use it? So we just steal this right for now. Let's steal that. So we're removing any previous highlight, and we'll say if let some start length equals region. We have to compute the end. End equals start plus length. Also, we need to convert from bits to bytes. So let start, well, this is start bits, and this is length in bits. The end is in bytes. Well, let's just call it end. Is start in bytes plus length. So let start. Actually, this is start bits plus length bits. I think we want to round up to like the nearest byte. Divide by 8. So then the start is start bits, and here I want to round down, so that's easy. We just divide by 8, right? Okay, let's see if that works. And then is flat map, it's just named badly. See, the bad names don't help me learn. Ooh, I think it worked. That's all the logical screen. That's the header. The data has no origin? Oh, we're still doing a debug print. That's why there was that lag there. So data itself doesn't have an origin, but data 0 does. There's data 0, there's data 1. Cool. Data 2. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to scroll to the where we click. Not doing that right now. Signature version. There's the width, height, global color table flag, color resolution sort flag. So they're all in that same byte there. Global, yeah. There's the background and aspect ratio, global color table. Size, that's a parameter, right? So we should probably hide that one. So it's red 0, red 1, red 2, red 3. Red doesn't have overall position. Yeah, see how these things are interlaced? Red, green, and blue are interlaced in that table. Here's that special purpose block. Oh, that's below here. So there's the overall block, the special purpose block, application extension, extension introducer. There's different pieces of it in the data subblocks. I know, it is cool. The other thing I could do is like, I could have 2 levels of highlighting. So I could go up every level of this tree and just highlight them all. So we would only end up seeing 2 highlights if I clicked that. We would see one at that level and then one at that level. I'm not going to do that right now. Not yet. Would be cool to collapse children into parents where they are the only child. Oh, you mean not even show that it's a special purpose block? I could do that in the GUI, yeah. So 0 would just say application extension. But you kind of lose the fact that it was a special purpose block at that point, right? Show it, but not the hierarchy. Yeah, I can do that in when I construct the nodes in the tree here. I can say if it has only one child, then immediately descend into it. Yeah, and exactly. The name could be formed from the names of the solo children, right? You want to see what that looks like? Yeah, that line could be that. Yeah, exactly. We could do that. I feel like I should get rid of the in the app where it does a print line. Maybe turn that into a debug. This one. Okay, I got like 20 minutes before I gotta get ready to work. So that's in set data, right? All right, set child data. The thing is, we'd have to like do a look ahead, I think, and see if we're only going to get one child from all of this, then don't add a row for it, right? So I can do that, right? I can do it right here. I can say if, and then we just do data.keyedChildren.length plus data.iterations.length. If it equals 1, we have a solo child, right? Else, do this. I'm going to want to refactor stuff here, right? Well, doesn't it just become if data.keyed children dot is empty? If it's not empty, well, I guess I don't like negative logic, so the key children is empty, we go into iterations, otherwise. So why don't I just turn that, put that there. Then we're getting the keyed child. So it would be data.keyed children.first. Can't do first? I guess it's iter next unwrap. Oh, what if I just promote that back out? If we want to form like a chain though, don't I want this to be like sort of recursive? What if I just do one level for now? All right, I could make it iterative, I guess. We could descend into the child. The problem is what about the values in that tree going down? So let's say we're looking at this, right? What if I assigned values to these levels? Would I just not show them? Or maybe I would only do this if there is no value to show, right? If there's no value to show for the thing itself, then look and see if it has a single child. And then if so, like descend one level down. Only do if there's no value and it's just structural, right? Okay, so then really what we kind of want to build, we want to build like the actual name as like we have to want to build that along with the data itself, right? Yeah, so it would be something like let mute name equals string new while data dot, well, I used this value to display for child, right? Okay, it was pretty simple, but still, I had to borrow into it to get it. I suppose I'll just make it another function. So while only structural, well, data only structural, then actually then we can like have this be while let some name fragment. If name dot length is greater than 0, I want to put like a prefix, a little separator like we were talking about, right? Name plus equals like that, right? And then name plus equals name fragment. And then data equals, oh, let's get both of them out. Child. data equals child, which means this is mutable. But that's borrowed. So I should probably make this owned. Clone. Give me a reference to it and make it mutable, and I need another name for that. I know what to do. I will just move that borrow down to here. There we go. So data equals child. Always forget add assign is on string. You hate it? You hate add assign for string? But that's like the coolest thing. It's string building. While loops are your friend? Yeah, I realized that while I was going. Okay, this I want to delay, don't I? Yes, right? Yeah, we want to delay this. So basically, if you click on the row token, actually, hold on. I want to do this up here, don't I? Is it just clone up here? I want to do that first, right? Because we already have a token for the child itself. If we have a row token, then we want to associate the data with it. Then we descend, right? Or do I want to descend first? No, I want to descend first. So this actually goes down here. Maybe I don't need to clone that one. Well, I want the type to be an owned reference, not a shared reference. Not a borrow of a reference. Not a borrow of a RC. I want it to be an owned RC. Okay, so I'll just leave that the way it is. Data only structural. There's an error though, because it probably doesn't know what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, I don't need to do this, right? Delete, 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 delete. Right? Remove this else block. So the name. Okay, the one problem is I'm adding the row before I set the child data. I'm thinking the add row should be actually at the top of set child data. And actually it should be after we descend. So then we'll also need a value to display. Well, that's, yeah. Running out of time. Push string. You want it to be a macro? You don't like an add assign? So if we get to this point, then we're already adding child nodes. Right, but we don't want to actually have the token at this point. We just want to go into set child data because that can descend structurally. Right? So these two actually, we want to get a name part. That's the only thing. So I guess that this is where I would do let name equals, and then I grab this format thing back out. So we have a name and a value, right? At this point, we have a name and a value. Name and a value, and name and a value. So then the token part needs to be removed. It needs to be pulled out. So instead, set child data, which is maybe not the best name anymore. It should be it should go into this here, right? Name value. Okay, and then yeah. Then those two lines are equivalent, and it makes sense for me to move it to the top. And it would be after we descend. So, and it actually goes into here, doesn't it? And it's not token anymore. It's and then I don't need this to be a top. Well, no, I do. It needs to be an option. So this is like name. I guess it's row data. String and string. Actually, can I just make that a vector? And then the first element of the vector is what I can build on here. Yes, so I can like go into the row data and grab the name out, and if it's something, and then what I actually add here, yeah, I can get a mutable reference to the first element of the row data. That's what I can do. Right. Hey there, Comkick. Notice that you implement a select feature in the data tree. You might want to turn it into the multi-select, because when you select text in the text editor, several regions can be selected. What means that more than one field in the data tree should be highlighted. Your comment's not irrelevant. I thought about that when, like, for example, we go into the logical screen, we go to the global color table, and we like click on red. It doesn't highlight anything. We have to like, oh, well, there we have to we do this, right? So theoretically, you could click red and it would highlight all the reds. I decided not to do that because, for one thing, there would be a lot of them, to be 256 of them, and I don't know how useful it would be, because you wouldn't know like the correspondence between, between them. I mean, it might be fun to just do it anyway. But yeah, because they're interleaved with other things, you just end up with a whole mess of different highlights. So that's one aspect. And the other aspect you're saying is, if like, let's say I clicked both signature and version together, right? Like I did a multi-select, it should do the equivalent of clicking on header, right? Only maybe showing a line between them. So we could do that, but I don't know how useful that is if I can already just click on the composition and get the larger box. You know what I mean? Like if I can click the individual ones and the composition is those two put together, then I'll just click on the composition and get the whole thing. So it makes the multi-select not as useful, sort of. Some time ago, I described the vice versa case, like you start from a selected det. Yeah, so the idea would be if I click on the F, it should highlight signature. If I click on the 8, it should highlight version. But since there's this ancestry tree, once you click on 8, it's like it shows the innermost one, and then you could, like, if you want to, you could rise up and see, well, that 89A is part of the overall header. If you like, So, oh, right. And then there was another case that we talked about where there's bit fields. So like these are all the same byte, right? These four are all the same byte. So presumably if I click on F7, maybe you should do a multi-select of all four of those. That that might be something to consider. Did I have that in the to-do? That feels like something I had to do item for. Okay, fix that. There actually wasn't a bug. So how do I do a cancel? This wasn't a bug. I was just confused, thinking the GIF I was parsing had local color tables when it didn't. Yes, so how about I add that as an idea? So allow multi-select for when you click on a byte and it corresponds to more than one data part. Like not just that they are related by ancestry, but they're actually siblings. So sibling, more than one data part and they're siblings. Siblings as in like, they're not the parent of each other, but they're sitting within the same byte. I was going to say, what is to say DataDisintegrator? It looks good. Then you realize it's what I'm making. Yeah. Yep. Making this thing. So we got it now where if I click, the DataDisintegrator takes the raw data and then a description of the format looks like this, compiles this description and uses it to parse the bytes so that, and sort of puts the parsed output on the right and the original on the left. And if you click on something in the right, it knows where it came from because that's part of the parser's output. So if you wanted to see where the screen width and height is inside the GIF, it's there. Here's the first data block down here. It has an interesting, like, it's an application extension, so it has an application identifier Netscape. Pretty cool. Here's the first real image in the GIF, and image data. It's LZW compressed, and we're not actually decompressing it, so this really is empty. All we know is the size of each data block and where those size fields are. So like between these 2 bytes, so this to this is the first LZW compressed block, and it's not in the composition here because we're skipping it. But yeah, working right now on that. What was I working on? Kind of got. Oh, right. There's an idea from chat that, for example, like, see this one, the application extension block? These levels, sort of, we could put them all in one row and not indent to the right 3 levels like that. If we see that it's only a structural level, it only has one child and it has no value, then we could collapse them together. So I'm trying to get that to work because I think it's a cool idea. And I never gave Get Off My Lawn credit for that. Because Get Off My Lawn is the one who said, it would be cool to collapse children into parents when they're the only child. So I should give Get Off My Lawn. How about 3 points? Now you have 14 points. 14? What are you going to do with these points? I don't know, because they're kind of useless. So yeah, we eventually want to add the row with the name in there, but the name is this first one, and then we got to build upon it, right? Yeah, it's a little tricky. He's gonna have to hire someone to kick someone off his lawn. All right, you're gonna be rich with those points, and you'll have to employ someone else to do the kicking. Like to watch my WoW streams too. Hard to catch me off online because of the damn time difference. Well, I am streaming in the morning and in the evening now, so better chance to catch me online. So if I stream the WoW stuff and I only have one viewer, it's probably going to be Comkick. Hey there, 85 filter. How's it going? Pretty good. Did you just get here? Did you see my cool parser yet? Look at this. It's really cool. There's the logical screen descriptor. There's the header. Here's the application extension. Yeah, I need to have it scroll when we click. That's the other thing, right? There's the word Netscape. It's pretty cool. Working on collapsing these three rows together because they're the same thing, really. They're only structural. Get our own owned reference. We're gonna... I guess what I need to do here is that name comes from the row data, but it's only if we have some, right? So that's only if we get into here. So do I like do another if-let? So it's not if-let token, it's if-let row data. And really it's if-let name and value right now. Token. Oh, we need another parent token too. Shoot. Yeah. So I need a token here. What to put here? In data tree. I'm out of time. This is sad. Oh, we need to have an index too. I'm gonna have a whole lot of things I need to put in this thing. Why doesn't it like this? Oh, add row needs a sum. Yes. Yeah, I'm not going to finish this today, or at least this morning, because I got to go to work. But I have to write this, and then this feels wrong because how do we do the very first rows, the outermost rows, right? It's actually not going to do anything for them. Actually, that's we already don't do it, right? For the outermost one, we don't do it. So I think it's actually fine. Oh, I know what to do. This might be itself optional. If it's the parent, right? So then this can just be token. There we go. And so it's not confusing. Let's call it parent token. Child token. Okay, my cat is now in psycho mode. She's like literally like running around bumping into paper bags that are on the ground. It's in Rust, so it's not just cool, it's super cool. Yeah, super cool. So I had to fix this because I don't have that implemented. And also this name is being lost. We have to actually get it back into here. So those two problems, right? Okay, and then let's fix this. This is what I need the token out of this, I think. Child token. I need child token out of this. Let child equal none. Child token equals sum. Let's just call that token. And then token equals some child token. Okay, and then yeah, now we have it down here. I can say token and index. Okay. So yeah, there are two things I have to do when I next stream is I need to actually implement this, and this name is lost because we end up just using the name we were given by the caller, and I had to basically grab it out of here and then put it back. So that it's gonna be a little. I need to reorganize this a bit. But yeah, I think I gotta go. Gotta get ready for work. I'm sorry. While I try to figure out who I'm gonna raid, how about I like show off this cool thing? We can pick that, and actually what's even more cool is I can go to this special purpose block and show the Netscape. All right. Tim it is. Hope you enjoyed Tim's stream. He's a game dev working on his own games that are racing related. He's showing you all the process of being a game dev, including the business side and the marketing and the engineering. So, and the testing too, and the art. So you get the whole package. I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye.